Hello and welcome back to our Bible story time. I'm so glad that you came to join us today. Each day we're reading a story from the Lectionary Story Bible, which is by Ralph Milton. And I'm so grateful that Ralph gave his permission for us to share his stories way back at the beginning of all this. Today we're reading a story simply called Sharing, and it's based on Acts 4:32 to 5 verse 2. The disciples went to many different places and told many people about Jesus. Soon there were lots of people who were trying to live God's way. They would get together often to talk about Jesus, to have a meal together, and to help each other. They sometimes talked about Jesus as the Christ. Christ is another word for Messiah. Because they talked about Christ, they were sometimes called Christians, or they were called people of the way because they tried to live in God's way. When the Christians got together, they would remember the things Jesus said. Then they would ask, what would Jesus want us to do? One day someone said, some of us are rich and some of us are poor. Would Jesus like that? I don't think so, said another. Why don't we try sharing everything? So that's what the first Christians did. The ones who were rich brought their money. They shared it with people who didn't have as much. One man, Joseph, sold a field that he owned. He brought the money and shared it with the other people. Some of the Christians didn't want to share. Sometimes they would just pretend to share, but they would keep most of the money themselves. That made everyone very sad. Often when the Christians gathered, they would eat together. Then they would remember the Last Supper that Jesus ate with his disciples. They would remember that even though they couldn't see Jesus, he was alive in their hearts. I'm so glad that you came to join us for our story time today. I hope that you'll be back again for more stories tomorrow. Bye for now.